Hey, Sami. Eliav Gabay, Sports 360 AZ. Good to meet you.
Yeah, you
Good to
too.
see you. So we've talked a lot about leadership so far today, and of course, a lot of that lies on the big three. But you're a big part of that as well. It can't all be on them. So how do you feel like your experience and your leadership has helped already in the start of camp, and how you hope it continues to?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we all lead in different ways. I think they're going to lead a lot, maybe more vocally sometimes, maybe more in their actions. But I think we're gonna ask a lot of them throughout the course of the season. So I think if I can be someone that can come in and take some of that load off of them and let them focus on the playing and the making shots, making plays, all of that, then I'm happy to sort of take on some of that mental load and do some of the leading, some of the talking through stuff. Obviously, there's a lot of learning right now as well. So I'm trying to help facilitate some of that with some of the younger players. And again, I think just any way that I can help them be the best versions of themselves as leaders and as players, that's kind of what I see my role as.
Sami, Hayden Silly with Clutch Points. Nice to see you again.
Hi, how are you?
Good. So obviously you have a ton of experience in the WNBL, winning MVP there, and as well as being a WNBL champion. Just curious, is it difficult going from your home country where you are the number one option to heading back to the WNBA where you're seen as sort of playing off of the big three?
I mean, not really. I think, earlier in my career, it was difficult to try to be that player overseas and then come back here and sort of play a much smaller role. But I think the style that we want to play here, the way that we want to play, the way that everyone's sort of such an important sort of option in the offense, I think will be, it helps, I think, that I'm coming off of a season that's one where I was offensively, a threat, and obviously I had some success in that. So I think it's going to just help our big three be great. I think you need support. The years that I've been on successful WNBA teams, we've had 8, 9, 10, like we went deep. Everybody was incredibly important. Everybody had to come on and be a threat. Everybody had to come on and be that player. And obviously you figure it out as you go throughout the season in big moments who's going to take those big shots. But I think, they need me to be that player that I am overseas here to help take the attention off of them. They're all going to get, double teams and all those throughout the course of the night. So if there are opportunities for me to be aggressive and to make the defense, to draw the defense to help them, I think that's important. So yes and no. Like, obviously I'm not going to be the number one option, but I do think I have to act like that when I have the ball so that teams respect me.
Hey, Sami.
Hey.
Stephen Prejean Gardner, PHNX Sports. How you doing? We have seen a shift in terms of the usage of shooters over the last couple of years to where now people like you are screening on ball. Can you speak to the advantages that you see created from that and just generally how you see that playing out into your role with the Mercury?
As me, a screener, is that what you said? Yeah. I mean, I think you see a lot of that now. I think if you can set a good screen, you can get others open, but you can get yourself open. But I think primarily if you're a good shooter, they don't want to leave you, right? And I think it puts the defense in kind of a predicament of, do we help off you, do we not? Do both people go to me? Do they leave me to go to the person that's driving? You slip out of it. I think that's where we're going to look to do a lot of that kind of stuff, where we put defenses in those situations where they don't know what to do. They have to decide who they want to guard, and we're going to be a team that in every position has people that can shoot, people that can drive, people that can score. So I think I'm really excited about that. I like doing that. I did that a lot last year, I think. And I think it just helps create a lot of openings for other people. I think that's, again, what I see as my role on this team as well, to create that space. I hope that people, hopefully other teams will respect my, the shooting, and that will create a lot of space for other players on the team.
Hey, Sami, over here it's Aya Abdeen for Ball is Life. Welcome to Phoenix.
Thank
so
you.
I have 2 questions. What are your goals you would like to accomplish this season in Phoenix, and how your MVP season in Australia helps you prepare for the upcoming season in the Mercury?
Yeah, I mean, I want us to win, but I think, we're at such an early stage that I think a lot of it is foundational as well. Right now we're building blocks, we're setting the tone for what we want to be long term, and that's really exciting for me to get to be a part of that. I think, we want to do things the right way, and I think be really intentional about how we're doing that. So camp's really important, I think, in a lot of areas for that. Of course, we want to win, but I think we know that this getting to a place where you're winning regularly and consistently is really hard in this league, and that's what we're trying, I think, to do now. We're trying to build all of those blocks so that when we face that adversity come season, we're prepared for it. So yeah, I'm really excited about contributing to that, and it was a big part of my motivation overseas this year. I wanted to have a really great year. I wanted to make sure that I was doing all the things that were going to set me up to be successful here and to help this Phoenix Mercury team be successful.
Dana Scott, Arizona Republic.
Thanks.
Sami, just wondering about how you grew up in Southern California, where DT's from.
Yeah.
She's gold standard, and then you played all your years, or a lot of years up in Seattle, backing up Sue Bird.
Yeah.
So, what were some of the greatest lessons you learned from her, and also, what do you see in some of the younger players possibly looking up to you in that same way that you looked up to?
Yeah, I mean, I idolized Dee growing up. I think a lot of us did. So it's really cool to be, kind of from the same area. In terms of, playing with Sue, and I was a 28-year-old rookie there, so that was, that was unique in its own way. But to have someone like Sue, I think what I learned most from her was she saw the value in every single player on the floor, and she knew how to use that, and she knew how to empower those players. If I stepped on the floor, I might just be a three-point shooter. That might be all I do, but she included me in whatever we were doing. She knew that I was going to draw attention. She knew that that was going to create space for Stewie, that was going to create space for somebody else. So if I subbed in, straight away she would call one or two plays that had me in the action. She valued all of us. She valued every single possession, every single person. And she really made us buy into that as well. And I think, she's probably the best leader I've ever been around in that way. She didn't talk all the time. She didn't say everything all the time. But when she spoke, you listened, and you knew that what she said was important. And so, I have learned so much from her over the years. And I hope that I can bring some of that in now. We've got a lot of really young, great rookies and people that are similar to me, and that they've maybe had a chance to try out previously, got cut, and have gone overseas and really worked hard and are coming back for this second opportunity, which was me. I did the same thing. So that really resonates with me, and I'm really trying to just help in any way that I can, the same way that Sue was really helpful for me.
Jeff Metcalf, Satu was talking about how excited she is to play with you because of your three-point shooting, your ability to get the ball off quickly. Can you just go into a little bit more about what playing with her, HE, and Copper are going to do for you to enable you to do your thing? Yeah,
I mean, just they're so dynamic. They get into the paint so easily. They get downhill, and everyone just collapses around them. I anticipate I'll get some of the most open looks I've had probably in my career. Because people will leave me to guard them. They just will. They're too tough. They're too good at the rim. So I'm excited about that, and I'm excited about, hopefully, like I said, having some shot credibility that hopefully people will guard me, and it'll create those lanes for them. And then I just have to do the easy thing and knock down the shot, right? So I'm really excited about it, the style that we're trying to play, the way we want to share the ball and find, the good to great looks for each other, I think is really exciting. And so far you can see the intent behind that in trainings. And it's just I think the more that we figure each other out, figure out what our tendencies are, how we play, it's going to be really exciting.
Hey, Mark McClune, Arizona's Family, 3TV CBS 5. Hey, as this town and the fan base gets to know the team, how would you describe your personality on and off the floor, and maybe just the personality of the team so far?
Yeah, I mean, the personality of the team, I think, is high energy, incredibly competitive, but we like to have fun. I feel like there's a lot of, not like goofballs, but just people who don't take it too seriously. Like when we're on the court, we do, but when we're off the court, we can have fun, we can laugh. So I really enjoy that. I think you need a bit of that. I think it can all be a lot sometimes. So I think if you can't have a laugh and enjoy just being around each other as teammates off the court, it can be, a long season. So I'm glad that we're already able to sort of get to know each other and have fun off the court. I think for me, I don't know, my personality, I'm pretty intense on the floor. I like to hype my teammates up. I get excited about little things sometimes. But I think off the floor, I'm pretty easy to talk to, easy to get along with. I like to be outside and be outdoors. I'm a mom, so that stuff is really important to me as well. But I really like engaging with people and getting to know them.
Last question.
Sami, Lena Washington, 12 News Phoenix.
Hi.
You talked about your journey and what you'd had to overcome to get to the W. I'm curious what your key to longevity has been now as you enter year 9 and how some of those experiences prepared you for this long career in this league.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really just been in the day-to-day. Like, I show up every day and try to get a little bit better. I think, this game is really, you get what you give, and I think if you're willing to put the time in and to give something every single day, you can get something from it. And you have to look after your body, of course, but I think for me, I've been able to do this because, one, I have not let a no or, an adversity or someone tell me that I'm not good enough deter me. I've just figured out ways to sort of, get better and improve and really make those sort of losses lessons for me. I've had a lot sort of throughout my career, and I've just really been able to look in the mirror and figure out, well, what's the lesson from this? How can I get better? And that's been really important for me. I think it's been a big part of why each year I feel like I am able to get a little bit better. And I love the game. I really love it. I have a lot of joy in playing and in these environments where you get to build something, where you get to work with people every single day that love what they do as well, and you're working for a goal. So I think, as long as I have those two things, I feel like I could play forever. Thank you.